Raymond Daniels tore through the karate scene like a hurricane, dazzled opponents with flair in kickboxing, and kept the momentum going strong in MMA late in his career. Today, we'll dive into the greatest hits of this electrifying fighter from a fading era, a guy who deserves way more fan love than he's gotten. Raymond's granddad was a pro boxer, and his dad was deep into American Kenpo karate, passing the basics down to his son from a young age. This hybrid style, famously used by Bruce Lee and later by UFC champ Chuck Liddell, demands precision. In Kenpo's point fighting setup, you score with the first clean technique, and the agile Daniels caught on quick. By 17, Daniels was stealing the show with lightning speed, a bold mix of attacks, and a knack for spinning strikes, earning him the nickname Human Highlight Reel. But at 19, as a single dad, he had to step away from fighting. Karate tournaments didn't pay the bills. He joined the police force, spending 7 years fighting crime. Then, in 2006, Chuck Norris, bored after counting to infinity twice, launched the World Combat League, a new fight promotion. It blended full-contact karate and American kickboxing, banned grappling, and featured team-based 6-on-6 matches on a walled arena where points added up. Naturally, Norris didn't overlook the breakout star of the next generation, Daniels. After a long hiatus, Daniels ditched his police badge and, as team captain, led the Los Angeles Stars, dancing across the mat with ease. He quickly reminded fans why they loved him, casually shutting down a low kick with a textbook spinning kick. Daniels kept the knockouts coming with his signature flair, impressing even Norris himself. Every time he stepped onto the platform, he entertained himself, the crowd, and racked up a max of 15 points per match. In January 2007, the LA Stars hit the playoffs, facing a Philadelphia squad led by 23-year-old Stephen Thompson. Thompson, a future UFC title contender, was mowing down opponents and had never lost in kickboxing rules. The hyped-up karate versus kickboxing showdown didn't play out like the Way of the Dragon. A torn ACL sidelined Thompson, pushing him toward MMA. That same night, Damian Garcia stepped into a whirlwind. Struggling to keep up with Daniel's speed, he got tagged from all angles and lost in a blizzard of strikes. Daniels set up a high kick, but didn't even need his signature spinning kick to seal the deal. Keeping the pace in 2008, the Human Highlight Reel pushed his team to the semifinals, diving straight into a brawl with Muay Thai fighter Chris DeCaro. After a quick spinning kick, Daniels fired off a piercing liver shot. DeCaro got 15 seconds to recover, which Daniels filled with his trademark charisma before dropping the curtain. He then unleashed a brutal, straight-line spinning kick variation for an encore. An hour later, the maestro was back in action. Abdul Qadir tried to corner Daniels, cutting off his movement, but the highlight reel was game for a slugfest. Spotting his opening, he spun into action, even in close quarters. After rocking Qadir with a knockdown, Daniels landed a rare double kick, 2 strikes at different levels in one spin, sending him packing. For Daniels, these kinds of pirouettes were just another day at the office. In the finals, his team faced the tournament favorite, New York. Down 133-122 after a series of fights, Daniels needed a knockout worth 15 points in the last bout to win. Fired up, he delivered in 50 seconds with another massive spinning kick, sending yet another opponent to the hospital and clinching a team victory in the now defunct promotion. By 2009, the unique promotion folded due to streaming problems. Daniels, boasting an incredible 18-0 record in the league, returned to point fighting kickboxing, where he won the World Cup 8 years straight, competing in open weight class. The only fighter to even challenge him was Michael B. Page. Bellator's knockout artist and current UFC top contender, Michael Page, in his early days, had a similar flashy style, racking up a wild array of highlight reel knockouts. These two striking virtuosos clashed 3 times in the finals, though Venom Page fought back like no one else. Daniels always took the win. The highlight reel even held his own in dance-offs. Over his peak years, Raymond snagged over a dozen world titles across various organizations and earned an honorary 6th-degree black belt. Still, as he hit his 40s, Daniels decided to cash in on his skills. He set his sights on professional kickboxing. He'd already dipped his toes in K1 between karate fights, where he glided across the ring and worked his hands with his usual sharpness. His dizzying spins left the crowd's heads spinning as much as his opponents, who only lasted a couple of rounds. In 2011, Daniels' slick spinning moves caught the eye of glory, the kickboxing league, but a torn Achilles tendon delayed his debut in the world's top promotion until 2013. In his first glory fight at welterweight, 170 pounds, against recent UFC fighter Brian Foster, Daniels wasn't about to play it safe with cautious probing. He smartly countered the aggressive Foster, targeting the body to set up a slick spinning kick. A flanking strike finished with a hooking hook kick added another gem to the highlight reel's resume and fast-tracked him to a title shot. Just months later, he entered a Glory Grand Prix. In the semis, he faced Joseph Bazooka Joe Valtellini, a Canadian who'd crushed in Taekwondo, then mastered Muay Thai, ending 90% of his fights with knockouts thanks to his ultra-aggressive style. With just one career loss by decision, Valtellini was the new elite of kickboxing. Against this heavy puncher, the nimble karateka Daniels kept his distance with sidekicks and unleashed explosive attacks from range. But in the second round, Valtellini methodically targeted the body, capping attacks with low kicks to sap Raymond's mobility. Daniels, not used to these exchanges, burned through his gas tank fast. Pinned to the ropes, he started eating more shots, running on fumes. By the third round, Daniels slowed to a crawl, trapped in a defensive stance under Bazooka Joe's onslaught. The predictable loss exposed the Achilles heel of Highlight's high-energy style. He burned out too quick. To redeem his bruised ego, Daniels faced number 10 ranked Francois Ambong. Sticking to his style, he was ready for the expected leg attacks this time. Once again, he proved he's the ultimate showman in the ring. After a gritty boxing brawl, Daniels flattened Ambang with a rare, spinning double kick. The first touch distracts. The second claims the year's best knockout award. Rico Verhoeven was impressed, and Raymond opened up about fixing his flaws. For this fight, I blended karate with boxing and drilled low-kick defense. I wanted to give fans a real show. Last time, I was disappointed in myself. But today, I delivered something special. In 2015, Highlight got invited to a one-night Grand Prix. Jonathan Oliveira, 23, tried to mimic Valtellini's tactics, but Raymond flipped on his attack randomizer, improvising with a colorful array of kicks. Dropping Oliveira with a ladder of spinning kicks, Daniels flexed his boxing skills, then doubled down with another signature move. He didn't forget to flash a Bruce Lee smile for the fans. The Brazilian's toughness couldn't change the fight's outcome. In the 3-act Grand Prix, the showstopper was a piercing Uchiuro kick. That night in the finals, Raymond faced the world's best welterweight, Niki Holtzken. The Dutch destroyer, a rare K1 old-school legend, had textbook boxing and a knack for liver shots, racking up 50 knockouts over his ring career. Holtzken had won the prior Grand Prix, shutting down Bazooka Joe. Giving no room for creativity, Niki quickly cornered the spinner. Raymond felt the Dutchman's signature strikes, regretting his lack of boxing skills, but he fought back, landing a spinning shot and countering. Holtzkin reclaimed control in the second round. As Daniels struggled to keep the seasoned vet at bay, the Dutchman dictated the fight's flow. Still, even after 3 knockdowns, Highlight stayed dangerous, leaning on his creativity. After a break, he revived the drama with his best moment, going all out. But the high pace drained his gas tank. Per the promotion's rules, 4 knockdowns meant a TKO for Raymond. Still, for a karateka, this was just his 8th fight under unfamiliar rules, facing a guy with 10 times the experience. 3 months later, Daniels was itching to erase the loss with flair, coming out guns blazing. The sting of those liver shots still lingered, so he didn't waste time, landing a brutal liver shot in under a minute. I worked hard on my hands and wanted to show it, but the guy kept rushing in, and I could tell he didn't know where my kicks were coming from. 2016, Bellator launched a kickboxing promotion alongside its MMA, and they signed 36-year-old showman Daniels to a lucrative deal. At their first event in Italy, the striking connoisseur warmed up the crowd with a flurry of moves, tested his opponent's flexibility, and served the main course. His opponent ate a knockout, guts and all. Young Chad Durfee got a taste of those spinning specials, overwhelmed by Daniels' chaotic kaleidoscope of kicks, and he stumbled toward the camera guy. Fired up, Daniels even scored an unusual hands-only knockdown and cooked Durfee until the 3rd round. With a string of knockouts, including a surgical liver strike, Highlight earned a title shot. Vying for the inaugural belt was Moroccan legend Karim Ghaji, a 10-time kickboxing world champ with 100 wins, half by stoppage. He entered as the favorite, but Raymond had seriously improved his low-kick defense. Moving smoothly, he launched his kicks with precision, kept his distance, and looked sharper in open exchanges. A knee and a stance switch sliced open Ghaji's face, making the doctor scramble. With the championship belt around his waist, Daniels stayed focused. Karim's a skilled and seasoned fighter. I had to learn a lot to get ready for him. Alongside his ring-flying triumphs, Raymond thrived personally. After raising his son solo, he met his new love in 2016, Colby Northcutt, the older sister of fighter Sage Northcutt. Like her younger brother Sage, Colby's been training in martial arts since childhood and now competes in one championship, where she's still undefeated. The fighting couple soon had 2 kids. After tying the knot, Daniels often said his wife brought balance to his daily grind, and their kids became a fresh source of motivation. 3 next challengers felt that drive firsthand. Highlight, with upgraded boxing and smarter energy use, even when a full 5 rounds like a pro. Just like 20 years ago, he never let the crowd get bored. With a pristine 8-0 record in the league, Raymond cleared out his division and, in 2022, took a bold gamble. At 39, Highlight set his sights on MMA. He didn't have to go far. Bellator eagerly gave him a spot on their England card. Welcoming the human tornado was welterweight Wilker Barrios. The spacious cage suited Raymond, who unleashed a spinning storm and even slipped out of a desperate clinch. Daniels dulled Barrios' reflexes with body-spinning kicks, resetting him to factory settings. Cranking a full 720 degrees, Highlight landed an unseen-before tornado punch, scoring one of the rarest knockouts in combat sports history. The cinematic move, praised by longtime rival Michael Page, went viral online, trending well beyond MMA circles. Daniels explained it simply. I planned to throw a kick, but he backed to the cage, breaking the distance. So I spun again, threw a right, and it all clicked in a split second, at least in my head. Raymond rang in his 40th birthday with his usual show-stealing performance. Jason Jack couldn't keep up with the veteran in stand-up, and his last-ditch submission attempt on the ground was shut down textbook style, earning Daniels his only career ground victory. Unsuspecting Peter Stanonik wasn't so lucky. In round 2, his defenses cracked with a sickening crunch. For 5 minutes, Peter groaned in pain but foolishly chose to keep going. 10 seconds later, Raymond went full hard-boiled mode, and Stanonik's crown jewels were beyond saving, so the fight was ruled a no contest. The rematch of the year's most excruciating fight happened 7 months later. This time, Daniels ditched his spinning kicks and even pulled off a couple of clean takedowns, winning without his signature weapon. Tough as nails, Peter survived a barrage of knockdowns and made it to a decision. In 2022, Raymond came full circle, signing an exclusive deal with Karate Combat. The up-and-coming promotion, modernizing traditional martial arts, was rapidly gaining steam, luring plenty of UFC strikers. The promotion leaned heavily on the blueprint of Chuck Norris's old World Combat League project, even using a similar raised platform with walls instead of a ring. After 15 action-packed years, Raymond returned to his roots, fitting perfectly into the familiar format. Even at 45, Highlight still fights with the same spark, holding his own against younger foes. While opponents' heads aren't flying off like they used to, the karateka still can't physically deliver a boring fight. Raymond Daniels may not be a household name, but there's no one like him in the fight game. After giving his prime years to law enforcement, he restarted his career at 30, and for the next 2 decades, never forgot his audience. In today's era of cautious point fighting, Highlight, no matter the rules, paints masterpieces in the ring that no one else can even mimic. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll catch you next time.